and we're in the people business, you know? And so when I think about the invite process, I think I'm going to take a little different tack than, you know, so many times people say, oh, well, give me, you know, tips on how to connect on Instagram or connect on Facebook, or tell me how to do it person to person, or show me how to run my fit club. And I'm like, you know, I can do all of that. But really, if you boil it down, you're not in the Beachbody coaching business. You didn't used to be in the school teaching business. Like I didn't used to be in the real estate business. We are all in the personal relationship business. And the sooner that everybody has that grasped and like going, okay, I'm comfortable with that and that's what I'm doing, the faster things can really take off for you, because it's just about connecting with another human being. It's just about having that kind of barometer of, I want to go add value to people's life. That's my intent. And either I'm doing that or I'm not. Either that kind of fits in my box or it doesn't. And so really on my team, that's how we kind of go about everything. It's clearly about adding value to people's lives. It's about connecting with them in a meaningful way. I was going to say deep and profound, but we're not trying to get like crazy with people or, you know, invasive or something like that. Like I'm not counseling somebody, but it is about having the intent to make a big difference in their life. And so ultimately, when you think about it, everybody needs what we have. The first time I was a summit speaker, I was in the last Los Angeles summit, and I was teaching this class, had 1,000 seats in the room. Every seat was filled up. And I said, okay, let me just give you guys some perspective on who needs what we have, right? I go, okay, so my background was all in real estate. I used to have a Sotheby's franchise. We used to build neighborhoods, did a lot of land development, entitlement work, and pretty vertical little boutique operation, but pretty good stuff, a lot of business. And we actually lost everything we owned in the market crash in 2008. So this Beachbody business for me was born out of a really monumentally horrific time in my life where we were losing everything we owned and having to get out of a house and having to switch kids' schools and all the crazy stuff that went with that. Riding my bike for like a year and a half because I didn't have a car. It was kind of nutty. But in now where the hell was I going? Real estate. That's funny. Too many details, and I go brain squirrel on you right there. Katie, what the heck were we talking about?
We were talking about how everybody needs what we have.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So I was at LA Summit. Everybody needs, I'm like, so, okay, there's 1,000 seats in this room. Every seat's filled up. There's a few people standing. Let's just call it 1,000 people in the room. I go, now by a show of hands, how many people need to buy or sell any kind of real estate transaction? I don't care if it's residential or commercial in the next 90 days. And one hand out of 1,000 went up. I was like, wow, this is worse than I thought. I'm like, or maybe refinance a mortgage, get a loan of some sort tied to real estate. And I think we had a total of like 7 hands that went up. I'm going, wow, this is worse than I thought, but roll with me on this. I said, so by a show of hands, how many people in this room have an active real estate license? 14 hands went up, plus me. I'm like, so I'm lucky right now that I've got the microphone and I'm finding the needles in the haystack. But I go, seriously, this room of people, this is every grocery store, little league, church, school, parent pickup. This is like the movie theaters. This is everywhere you're going to go see people every day. You see 1,000 people over the next period of time, like all the time. It's on a repeat basis. I go, so how in the heck are you supposed to find those 7 people that need to do a deal? And the fact that 15 other people in this room, 14 other people in this room are competing with you to find the same thing. And then somehow magically have the right conversation to discover that, by the way, I'm also looking to refinance my house. Like it's super, super difficult. I go, now by show of hands, how many people in this room would like to feel better, look better, have healthy blood levels, blah, blah, blah. And I just start going, look better in a swimsuit, feel confident, lose weight. And 1,000 hands are in the air. I'm going, guys, everybody needs what we have. And that's the mindset that I have that I think is so fundamentally different than a lot of coaches who struggle, is that I fully believe that everybody does need what we have. We've got 3 shots to change somebody's life. We've got world-class fitness, world-class nutrition, and world-class business. And so the reason why I bring this up and say things that you may already fully just, like, yeah, I get that. Really get that. Really let that resonate with you, because I think the big thing that you have to remember is that people don't even really remember most of what you said. I mean, I think Einstein, as the super genius he was, had a 13% retention rate as far as being able just to retell what was just said to him. 13% super genius, right? So we're that or less. Let's just call that, to be fair. We're going to retain less than 10% of what's said. So, I mean, most of the people aren't going to remember what you said to them in the first place. But so many people get hung up on, what am I going to go say to this person? And they kind of overthink everything. And so I just want you to know that people aren't going to remember what you said. They're just going to remember how you made them feel. And so when you're sharing from the heart and you're being really genuine and truly, it's just from a place from the heart, that is when the other person that you're communicating with, connecting with, is the most open to receive you, period. So if we're going through things in a rush, if we're in a hurry, or if we're just kind of like successful points, or it's the end of the month and I need points, that's, good luck. That's hard. I've been there plenty of times where I'm at the end of the month and I'm like, I don't do less than 10 points ever on a bad month. And it's just my thing. It's kind of like my line in the sand. Maybe I should make it more like 20. And so I'll have 10 done by the 10th and 20 by the 20th and the rest is gravy. But you kind of just draw a line in the sand. You go, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm committing to. And that makes it a lot easier than getting to the end of the month and going, holy cow, like I need points. And it's not fun to go into a situation with need. Like I've always had this thing about relationships where I really want to foster great relationships when I need nothing at all. Like it's just great to know people. I think that's an intrinsic human characteristic that we all have, that we have a need for people on some level. It doesn't have to be quantity here. I mean, for some people it's going to be quantity. Some people it's just going to feel good to know a lot of people. But really it's about quality. It's about having people that you can trust, having people that, I don't know, have your back in a situation, or, it's like whether you're in a time of need, whatever it is. But for me, it's no different than like the people at Corp. Like I make a point at every event to go connect with the people that work in the camera crew, the film crew, the sound guys, the people backstage. And in most of the last couple summits, Tommy Migrant and I have been partnered on doing these presentations. And everybody always laughs when they, like the corporate people that come backstage and they'll see us talking to the people that work there. They're like, guys, you're about to go on stage. We're like, yeah, this is really important. We got 2 minutes. We're good. And because it's that important to us on how we connect with somebody. And so when you're, maybe let me give you some architecture of chit chat, because I really feel like this is the place where so many people either win or they're going to lose in, did I connect to somebody or not? So a couple different things. Just in case I go tangent squirrel on you, just remind me to talk about the 80-19-1 form, the 3 pillars. Okay, so I was at this Beachbody training in, I think, 2009, and they had this guy come in and give this talk, and it was a really good talk, and he was a longtime business guy and network guy. And he's like, you guys have to embrace that this business is much more about sorting people than it is about selling people. I'm like, okay, I'm taking notes. And he's making just different comments about different things. He's like, you know what? He goes, you can hand out 1,000 business cards all day long. I can make, 2 good connections and I'll beat you every day. I'm going, wow, that's interesting. I'm hand out business cards. Like in real estate, everybody has a business card and they want your info. And what all it does is go into some binder that you never open that's full of people's business cards. It's like just kind of I don't know, some common thing that we do. And so, and I kind of like in Japan, like if you ever been to Japan and somebody hands you a card, like they'll take it and really look at it. They turn it over. They're very careful about it. And they're very pragmatic about where they put it in their pocket or their wallet so it won't be damaged. Like we don't have that in our culture. We're this high speed culture, And so anyway, this guy has this talk about how he goes, imagine you're walking downtown, some big city, and there's this big tall building and the doorman's out front. And he goes, and the whole building's just wrapped with Dixie cups, row after row after row. And you're like, hey, what's to do with the Dixie cups? He guy's like, oh, he goes, there's priceless diamonds underneath some of those. You're like, what? He goes, no, really? He goes, for sure, there's 6 of them, at least, maybe more. You're like, are you serious? He goes, yeah. He goes, just turn them over. If you can find them, you can have them. And we're like, what? And the trainer is going, look, this is the greatest metaphor for, for this business. He goes, it's sorting the people. It's turning over the cups until you find the one who wants to do this. You're going to find that it's never really a no when somebody says no to you. It's always just a not right now. Our business has everything to do with timing. So again, I always draw a lot of comparisons to real estate because that was my background. And I used to have to teach people when we owned our offices. We owned the last couple offices that we worked in. And it was a tricky thing because they had the highest attrition rate. There was extraordinary high fail rate. And so when I got into the Beachbody business, I already went in with realistic business expectations and I fully knew plenty of people were going to quit. I mean, I've broken 30 lifetime diamonds and I don't know how many of them have quit people quit. Like, it's okay. Like, I don't pay my bills with other people's feelings. Like, you know, you pay your bills with what you earn. And so I've always had this thing about, let's make sure we're working past the attrition rate. And so an actionable tip just to align your schedule, if you will. I don't care whether you're working 1 hour, 3 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is, the amount of time that you put in a day. One of the healthiest balances I've ever seen is when you just keep things in this 80-19-1 function. Okay, so 80% of your time is in phase one, which is recruiting. Okay, 19% of your time is in working with your new people, new being the operative word. 1% of your time is in solving problems. And so think about this. In life, everybody always talks about hindsight, right? Hindsight's always 20/20. You can look in history, you can study it, you can see what happened, you can unwind things, you can unwind conversations, situations. If I would have said this, if I wouldn't have done that, whatever. And so being, you know, much more business-minded and just having grown up around family business and owned the last few businesses that I've been in traditional brick-and-mortar business, I looked back at my Beachbody business and I thought, okay, I want to tear this apart with a 30,000-foot view down and look at what can I have done better. Okay, I don't care if I went superstar, if I've been Millionaires Club and all that stuff. I mean, if anybody who knows me, and I don't talk about this stuff like on stage with big events, but I mean, just to be really real with you guys, the day that I went superstar, I had everybody calling me and Pete Pena and all these founding coaches, and they're congratulating me. And I'm like, that's really cool. As one of the first of the second generation coaches, the non-founders to do this. But I've spent 2 hours on the phone with Tommy Migrant that day trying to find out how I could get better at a few different things that I was really struggling with. Like, I didn't care about what I just did. I was trying to still get better. Like, you don't just arrive at some rank or at some point in your business and go, oh, I'm freaking awesome. Woohoo, I'm done. See ya. Like, no, like, you keep going, and we're always perpetually learning, because if we don't, we're really dying. I mean, I just feel like we're kind of like on this conveyor belt of life, right? And when you're not doing anything, you're just sitting still, the conveyor belt's going and you're just going backwards, right? But if you embrace this and you're like, hey, look, I want to learn. I want to have all these awesome things in my head so that I can share with other people. Great. I've got the tools to tell you how to do it. But when I looked back at my business and I went, okay, where could I have been better? And then somewhere after I went superstar, I had a handful of my diamonds that were out of that first 15 who had some different things going on in life. One girl got called up in the military. She was a reservist. She was the fitness trainer basically for the Army out of San Francisco. And she was fantastic at what she did, but they needed people in the Middle East. Next thing you know, she was gone. She's in Afghanistan for like the next year and a half. I'm going, whoa, poof, diamond, gone. Like, done in 30 days. Seriously, her people fell off because they were being deployed too. She had all these military people. I'm like, okay, one diamond, I can replace a diamond. And then next thing you know, it was like the other companies that were fleecing Beachbody people, that corporate people that had left, and they were stealing people. And I lost hundreds of people. And so, but I lost some different key people all at the same time. And my hindsight is that I worked with the wrong people. I got out of balance because I kept trying to work with those ones who said all the right things, who at one point did the right things, but when they broke out of my mold of my 80-19-1, when they broke out of, they didn't want it as much for themselves as I wanted it for them, that was broken, and I should have walked away sooner. And it took a while to learn that. And I'm just sharing that because I think you'll learn infinitely more from your failures than you ever will your successes. And my failure was that I worked with people because I had a big heart and because I'm a giver, and I just wanted it so bad for them, but they didn't want it for themselves. And it took me a year before I really wrapped my brain around with the fact that they were not coming back. They weren't going to ever take this as serious as I did. And I was drilling down and working with their people and doing all these things, and it pulled me out of the 80-19-1. And so I guarantee that I would have made a lot more money the last 2 years had I stayed in this balance, and everything would have been more harmonious. It also would have been a hell of a lot more fun, because I think recruiting is absolutely the most fun thing that we get to do in this. And when I say recruiting, just so you guys understand, phase one is recruiting. That's the same thing. When I stay in phase one, I don't care if that's retail or as a coach. It's whatever's right for that person. Like, that's not for me to, it's just for me to discover more than anything. And so to do that, when I talk about the architecture of chit chat, I like to form people. Okay, so form, if you've heard of it, that's great. But like, let me just make sure you really get how easy this is to embrace. I think a lot of people don't get, they go too mechanically in this, and you got to have some feel behind this, right? It's like music or something. And so it's family, occupation, recreation. You have a message. Okay, so if you're looking at music written on a wall and you're looking at somebody talk about their family, Everybody's favorite topic is themselves and their kids. It is the easiest thing in the world to get somebody to open up and start chit-chatting with you if you ask about them, right? So this is a key thing to write down. You want to be more interested than you are interesting. You want to be more interested than you are interesting. Now, this is really weird because you think, wow, that's bipolar to what we're doing, because on social media, we're supposed to be interesting. Yeah, be interesting on social media, but as soon as you're connecting with another person and you're chit-chatting with them, make it all about them. If you have 15 minutes with somebody, make 13 of them about that person, or 14. Like, seriously, I'll get to the point where I'm at the end of a conversation and I'd rather have them go, oh man, I'm out of time. Or I go, oh, I'm out of time. You know what? I got to get done. I got a thing with my kids, or I have an appointment. You don't have to make an excuse. You say, I've got an appointment, right? You might have an appointment to work out. Like, everything's an appointment. It's the easiest thing to call it. And you'll leave them wanting to talk to you because they never got to you. And so it changes the dynamic psychologically. But so anyway, so I make the bulk of the conversation about them. But it's super easy just to get them open up. They're talking about their family. They're talking about their kids. If that was music written on a wall, that's up. That's vibrato. That's loud. That's proud. And it's going, right? You say, hey, so what do you do for a living? Or so you say, hey, so what do you do in the area? Whatever, your question is for what do you do for a living, right? Some version of what do you do for a living. They'll naturally come down a step in inflection and intonation, because it's damn rare to find somebody who likes their job more than they like themselves or their kids. That's like very, very, very rare. Okay, so like I said, they come down a step, and I visualize this like music written on a wall or written on a paper or whatever. You're listening for these clues, right? I talked about the 3 pillars. The 3 pillars are fitness, finance, and food. You're listening for how they're doing with those things. I'm just listening for those, right? So when I'm talking to them about work, you're going to find out, 50 million versions of the same story of, I love my job, I hate my commute. I love my job and I'm underpaid. Or I make great money, but my boss is a drunken tyrant, alcoholic, just abrasive, or whatever version of that story. And seriously, most people feel like they're a number 1 person trapped in a number 2 position. So you can play the ego card that way. Most people are generally underpaid. And if you think about Katie was a school teacher, my wife was a school teacher, Kelly taught 4th grade for a long time. And the heck of it is that all her teacher friends still make the same that they did 10 years ago, 15 years ago when she was teaching. Connor's 10, 11, so 12 years ago was the last time she taught. And those teachers make the same amount of money they did over a decade ago, but yet everything costs infinitely more than it ever did then, right? And everybody's benefits are changing. The health coverage they have has changed. Everything is downgraded. And so unfortunately, we don't make enough. Most people don't make enough with all the common jobs, right? Cops, teachers, firefighters, nurses, all the common societal jobs that cover the middle class, if you will. What most people is to simply aspire to get out of college and go get a job, and I'm going to have my career or vocational school, whatever, and life's great. But the problem is they don't make enough money. So when you're in, family, occupation, recreation, message, right, form. So when you're in occupation, you're listening for these clues about what's their life like. I don't even have to get to the contrived questions of, hey, so tell me 3 things you don't like about your job. Like, are you freaking kidding me? That's just crap. Like, it's easy just to have a conversation with somebody. And hey, you know what the greatest line is ever, seriously, when you don't know what to ask ever? Would you tell me more about that? Or, hey, tell me more about that. When's the last time anybody asked you to tell you more about anything you're talking about? I can't remember seriously, I don't even know the last time ever. I have an extraordinary memory. I can't tell you the last time that somebody said, would you tell me more about that? That they actually gave a crap about whatever it was that I was talking about or some story I was telling them. Like, we're in the most impatient society that's ever existed on the planet. People don't ask those things. So you will be the anomaly when you're in that conversation of, hey, so tell me more about that. Like, you don't even have to know the questions of, of those things. Anyway, so families up here, they're stepping down in occupation. I don't want to leave them in occupation too long because that tends to get depressing. And so I'll bring them back up a notch and I go, hey, so what have you been doing for fun? Like, that's my lead into recreation. Hey, so what have you been doing for fun? I come up in inflection in my intonation and my passion. And as much as I might love funny movies or a great personal development book or traveling or snowboarding or mountain bikes or whatever, I'm asking about active things, right? And so I have this kind of canned thing where I just say, hey, so you've been riding bikes? You've been playing tennis? What have you been doing for fun? Because what you're going to discover is that most people can't answer this question because they haven't been having any fun. Like, it's almost rare. It's the weirdest thing. And so anyway, in those 3 little things, you're going to learn so much about them, their family, what they do for a living, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what they do for fun, if they're actually having any fun or not. And if they can't answer the what have you been doing for fun question, and they're just sitting there, like, again, I don't want to leave them hanging. And when I'm sharing this little conversation with you, believe me, this is at least 150 conversations that I screwed up to learn these basic things. And so if they can't answer the what have you been doing for fun thing, I say, oh my God, you haven't been having any fun? Like, really? Come on. I've been doing that, that P90X thing from TV, PX90, like I'll say it wrong and they tend to click then. Or people will just be agreeable, like when you say, have you seen a movie? And they're totally BS and oh yeah, I've seen parts of that. Like, no, you're lying to me right now, but okay. But so I'll go, hey, that P90X thing from TV? Oh my God, they have this new one called Insanity Max 30. I swear to you, I have never felt so good in my life. Like, I sleep like a baby now. I don't snore anymore. My clothes totally fit better. I had to get new pants. Like, I'm loving life. I think Kelly's loving it more than I'm loving it, but I'm loving it. Okay, so I didn't share any facts about what I did. I didn't tell you how long the program was. I didn't tell you who the trainer was. I didn't tell you anything except what I loved about it. Because people do not buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Okay, so if you want the greatest 18-minute lesson on that ever, and thank God corporate listened to me on this one, the keynote speakers you have at Summit this year, out freaking standing. Simon Sinek is probably one of the smartest guys you're ever going to get to meet. And he has this TED Talk that's one of the top 5 most viewed TED Talks of all times. And there's actually a TEDx talk, and it's still one of the most viewed TED Talks of all times. And it's called Start With Why. And he wrote a book about it, but I would say just start with this 18-minute video, and you're going to just get your wheels spinning about how you'll take the information you already have in your brain about everything you love with what we do, and then rearrange it into a way that's going to land with somebody instead of repel them. Because a lot of times that's simply what's happening, is that they just go, yeah, like, you're on overload, you get away, you know what I mean? And so anyway, let's see, I talked about 80-19-1, form. Oh, and then like in inform, just again, you're kind of listening for those clues, the 3 pillars of what we do, which is fitness, food, and finance. And so, when I get people that come with all the objections, just know that everybody's objections are always time and money. So be ready for those, and just know that there's no 2 things that people absolutely waste more in life of ever than time and money. So for me, I just don't respect the time and money excuse that comes, because that's all it is. It's just crap. It's an excuse. And really, when I know this may be different than the tact you might have thought I was going to take tonight on how to invite and how to up their game on that. But I'm telling you right now that when you take these strategies, what you're really conveying is your confidence about what you do. And I think the most simple analogy I could ever give anybody is, it's like when you're lost and you're trying to find your way to the lake. Kids are in the car. You're like, I'm trying to go to the lake. You pull it over a gas station and you're asking the guy, you're like, oh, hey, you know what? I'm looking for the lake. Is the lake down this way? Are we going the right way? And the guy's like, oh yeah, the lake. Yeah, I'm new here, so just hang on. Yeah, I think it's a couple miles down that way, and yeah, it's down there. You'll find it. It's there. I'm like, go across the street, go to the other gas station. You ask the guy. You're like, hey, you know what? We're trying to find the lake. We get the kids. The guy saw, oh my God, the lake. It's so beautiful this time of year. 1.8 miles down the street, you're gonna see this tree with an orange sign on it. Hang a left. It's at the end of that road. You guys are gonna have the best day ever. You will follow that guy all day long. Because that guy had what? He had confidence and enthusiasm about what it is you were going to go do. He got excited with you about what you're going to do. So when somebody's going to take on your challenge or going to join your challenge group or buy a fitness program or a Shakeology or whatever, get them excited about what they're about to do. Like, I love to challenge people to go get blood levels in a physical before they go start this journey, because they'll actually have a clue about how much they really improved. Instead of having that kind of BS facade of looking back and going, yeah, well, my clothes kind of fit different, or I don't know if this really worked. Yeah, because you ate freaking donuts and Twinkies every damn day, and you ate pizza for dinner and like drank a gallon of beer at night, and you didn't really half-ass your workouts. What do you expect? But when you get somebody to, like, when you tell them something about saying, hey, I want you to go get a physical and go get blood labs, they're going, whoa, you're freaking serious. Like, this is for real. Yeah, it's for real. I'm not out here selling freaking soap and toilet paper. Like, I have something that can change your life. Not that you don't need to be clean, but like you need to, yes. And like, I'll have fun with it, because that's just me and that's my personality. And so you, be the best version of who you are. And so, if you want to up your game with all these things, please make sure that you guys are doing personal development every day. Like not 7 apples on Sunday, it's a little bit every day. Because I'm telling you right now, all these coaches I've worked with over the years, all the people, the thousands of people on my team that I've mentored, it fundamentally, the screw up almost always when you look back on somebody's business and they go, oh yeah, last 30, 60, 90 days just really, man, I'm not doing so good. I'm flatlining my business, or just, it's not where I want it to be. This Beachbody thing just doesn't really work. No, you didn't work it. I built from a dead spot in my team, did all this stuff to show you it could be done. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to accept that crappy excuse. And what have you been reading? And I always ask them, what have you been reading, or what have you been listening to? I don't care if it's on audio or you're reading, whatever. What are you absorbing? Categorically, nothing. So thoughts manifest, thoughts grow. And it's no different than when somebody gets hooked on the idea of a new car or some certain house or whatever it was, because people buy an emotion and they justify with facts. They get hooked into this idea and then they run with it. So the ideas are what's born in all these great personal development books. So when you're reading the really great stuff, I mean, like seriously, I have a read list that's maybe 20 books or less of what I recommend to people, depending on where they are in their journey and what they might need. Those are the things that even if you're, think about it like this, even if you're awesome and you have the happiest childhood and nothing's ever happened to you in life, and you're just like, woo, and I'm happy every day and I wake up and I don't know why I'm so happy and life's perfect for me. Great. Nobody you bring on your team is going to be like that. You're going to get somebody that's got the fear of failure. You got somebody who's too cocky, somebody who's uncoachable, somebody who's impatient, somebody who's seasonal and they're just kind of in and out and they're here one day, they're gone the next day. You're going to have all these different versions of people who just simply haven't found what you found. And the greatest thing you could ever do is give them the gift of something great to put in their mind every day, because you could be having the worst day on earth. And seriously, 7-8 pages into that thing, you probably can't even tell me what went wrong today. You're just going to be all about these new ideas and things just grow upon each other. And then you wake up every day and you're like, man, I can't wait to read this or can't wait to read that. And so for me in 2015, I made this intent, not so much a goal. It was just, what do I intend to do? And I intended to do more personal development. And so I don't ever drive like hardly at all, because like I work from home, like my commute's down the stairs and here I am. But I put myself in a position where I would drive, like we go to Mount Bachelor to go snowboarding all the time and we did whatever. And so I made the intent just to go drive around. So I'd listen to great books on audio, and I've listened to all these new books in the last 30 days, 40 days, something like that. And seriously, I have more ideas right now than I even know what to do with. It's ridiculous. And I could talk about these things, even though I haven't finished a couple of the books. I finished a bunch of them, but your people need that from you, because people are going to come to you and they're going to be broken and they're going to need help. And you're not a counselor. And even if you are, you need to have healthy boundaries and get paid if you're a counselor by counseling. But like, it's knowing where to point people in the right direction. And seriously, out of everything we do in Beachbody, that's the greatest thing you could ever aspire to do. Let me point you in the right direction on fitness, food, how to make more money, how to have more free time. I mean, I think the last thing I'd close with is that there's only 5 reasons why people even do what we do in the first place. And when you're communicating about those to people, you're going to find some traction, because it's either to help other people, it's financial reasons, it's time freedom, accountability with your own health and fitness, and or being part of something bigger than you, right? Like being part of a cause, part of a group, if you will. And so ask people about those things and say, hey, I just want to know about you. What's important to you? Oh my God, that's a great conversation to have. Most of the time they tend to say, oh, all that stuff. Great. Tell me more about it. What would you do if you made more money? Or like, I don't know what your financial situation is. What does that mean to you? Is it like paying off your student loans, your car payment? Like, are you in a lot of debt? Is it making an extra $500? Are you talking about like, I don't want to be presumptuous, because I found that when I assume, I really screw it up. And I can't tell you how many times that I've had the conversation with guys who I thought were competitive and type A and like business guys. I'm like, dude, this is $1 million business. And they were turned off by that because they did not see themselves as $1 million earner in life. Their barometer was way down here at like janitor income, but they tried to shine like they were faking it to something else. And so go ask people those questions. And they're great questions. Just, when somebody asks you about what you do, seriously, I could tell somebody I'm a superstar diamond coach. It means nothing to anybody outside of this company. It's meaningless. People know how to have a conversation sitting next to another parent at Little League or at soccer when somebody says, oh, I'm a cop. Oh, really? Do you work at the police department, or are you highway patrol? Or I'm an attorney. Oh, really? What kind of law do you practice? Or I'm a physician. Oh, really? What kind of medicine do you practice? Like that's an easy conversation to have, because we've been ingrained with that growing up. We know what those careers are. When you tell somebody you're a Beachbody coach, they don't know what the hell it is. So it's like, I think I've had more traction jokingly telling people that I'm a professional fun haver. And they're like, what? You do what? And then I get in a conversation. And sometimes I'll just say, oh, I'm a health and fitness coach online. Whatever. You just have to play with it and see what works for you. But your goal is just to get in a conversation. And so I'll tell them something, but I instantly flip it on them. I'm like, hey, so what do you do? Or say, what have you been up to? Or what have you been doing for fun? Like, I might rearrange for them, but it's just connecting with them. And my intent is them be interested more than you're interesting. And seriously, you guys take that intent, go have fun with it, and realize this is fun. And it totally is no big deal if you screw this up. Please don't care if you screw it up. Screw it up a lot, because it's just like baseball. If you could hit 3 for 10 in baseball right now in the pros, you'd be making, I don't know, $5-6 million a year, and you strike out 7 out of 10 times. So please be smittenly comfortable with a lot of strikeouts. That's just part of what we do. And then, have fun with the rest and rejoice in the stuff that you do get done. And, that 80-19-1 thing is everything, whether it's the power hour, whether you're doing 3 hours a day, whatever, all those things land back about within that constraint, very close to that. And dude, I don't know, you could run a presidential campaign on what we do. We're job creation in healthcare. Freaking A, that's pretty awesome, I think. So there you go.
That was fantastic. Hey, I do have one question for you though.
Yeah.
Do you run your business primarily through social media, or where do you do most of your inviting? Is it more face-to-face, or is it more private messages at this level of your business? Where have you found a lot of your invites are done?
In my first couple of years, it was 100% person-to-person, and I built with Fit Clubs, and I screwed up a lot of presentations until I got it down. I had a year worth of just crap presentations. When I finally got a big room full of people, I had 153 people, I had a corporate speaker, and I was like, the ballroom at the Marriott, and this is awesome, look at us. And it was so bad. The next week, how many people showed up? 3, including me.
Yeah.
And that was the same month. That was July of 2010. I was bankrupt that month in bankruptcy court. I also went 5-star diamond that month and made Elite 10 that year and made 6 figures the same year I went bankrupt. Because I wasn't going to let that crappy situation define who I was. I wasn't going to let one shitty presentation stop me from my goal. You're going to get hurdles all the time, whatever. Expect that stuff. Expect the worst, plan for the best. I don't know. Expect the best, plan for the worst. What do the military guys say? But to answer your question, I do a lot of social media for my communication part. I love people. So I love to meet people out and about, and then I connect with them online. As far as finding them online, yeah, you just have to run good social media. You know the drill. Facebook's 5 posts a day, mix it up, don't talk a lot of shop. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So you always want to share from the heart. And then I think that on Facebook, the like pages seem to have better traction today, just because Facebook's really cracking down on business. On personal pages, I think that if your team's largely female, then you would be remiss if you're not using Instagram and Pinterest, because Pinterest is 90% women and has the highest psychological mindset of a buying intent of any social media site there is. So, but you're doing the same thing. You want to put out good content. So to do that, you need to know what are the 5 things that you love the most in life. I don't care if it's red wine and golden retrievers and the badass book and cancer and I don't know, friggin' poodles. I don't know, whatever. And but you get the 5 things that you know the most about, that you could talk about all day long, because that's where you're going to really end up communicating about. And my wife's seen a lot of Instagram traction by playing with hashtags instead of using the common hashtags like fitness, nutrition, and the hashtags of all the names of the programs. She started hashtagging the things that she loves. And from our area where we live to, finding other people that have accounts that she likes and seeing what hashtags they use. And so I think with Instagram, as many different tutorials as there are on Instagram, really it's more about researching what it is you love and expanding on that, and then having a focus. Because if you're going to be a physician, are you going to get out of med school right now and you're going to go do cardiology, and then tomorrow you're going to be an oncologist and work on some cancer, and then the next day you're going to be a pediatrician and then fix my shoulder in orthopedics the next day? No. If you're going to be a physician, you're not only going to be an orthopedic surgeon, you're probably going to specialize on 1 joint of the body, maybe 2, and that's your sweet spot. And you wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this business with social media, the reason why, in my opinion, that I see so many people who don't catch traction is they're really trying to be all things to all people, and they need to just focus in and be okay that you can't be all things to all people. Your job is not to make all people happy. Not everybody's going to get you. Not everybody gets me. Somebody on this call is probably going, man, this guy talks a lot. He's a high speed. This guy needs to shut up. Like, I don't care because I don't pay my bills with your feelings. Like, it's okay. My intent is I'm here to help, but like, that's it. And if I can help, if there are 20 people on this call and I can help 18 of them, then I'm stoked. If I can help one, I'm stoked. Like, it's just having that intent. And so I really feel like on social media, when you do a great job at sharing who you are and you're being authentic, that's where you're going to catch the traction. I don't know.
You want to be so unapologetically you that people unfollow you. And then
you should really. I think Gary Vaynerchuk had the greatest little spiel on that when he wrote, I don't know, it wasn't even his first, but before he wrote books, he had that Wine Guy podcast, and he goes, I had the stats on this thing. He goes, in the first 60 seconds, 12% of the people or 20% of the people would hang up. And he goes, if I would have paid attention and chased them, he goes, I would have missed the 80% of the people that were standing there who got me. He's like, let them go. Bless and release. Like, Let them go. Like all those diamonds I had that fell, I needed to let them go a lot sooner. And I would have had more fun. I would have found more good people. I would have sorted through, that's a balance thing. And so, I don't know. Hillary Kelly had a great thing where even though she builds all her business on social media, when she meets somebody out and about, because she's got young kids and she's just like us, she's chit-chatting with people wherever, she just always says, hey, friend me on Facebook. Let's be Facebook friends. And so her intent isn't to get an email and a phone number. Her intent is just to become Facebook friends. And then the given is she runs a really interesting Facebook page. And when you're, sharing your lifestyle and your lifestyle's interesting, that's a key thing. I mean, like I think the key thing to know about that is that you can buy Beachbody stuff from over 200,000 different coaches. You can buy it on beachbody.com. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it like freaking wherever. Why are they buying it from you? Why are they buying it from me? They're buying it because of you.
Yeah.
And you have to remember that. So when you're out there marketing, you're sharing your lifestyle, and it's not to make it sound so perfect. Like, we all have stuff that goes on in life, like marriage stuff and life stuff and kid stuff. And like, it's being real. But maybe you're just finding a positive way to communicate about it. We've all gone through that stuff. I mean,
very true.
I don't know. I think you have the most powerful story of anything I've heard in a long, long time. I mean, my oldest brother got Hodgkin's when he was 24, 23 and a half, 24. And so, I mean, and my dad died of cancer. Like, I've been around this, a lot of people in my family. And so, I mean, it's near and dear to me. Like, I know you and I have only talked a little bit about that stuff, but like, my brother outlived every doctor he ever had. Everyone that ever gave him bad news. He's like, you know what? Thanks for the bad news, but I'm going to go somewhere else. See ya. And he just kept going because he's like, I'm going to stay relentlessly positive. I'm not going to buy into anybody's negative bullshit. He's like, that's just what it is to me. And so here he is alive, living at the beach, worth millions of dollars. And he's alive, and he's almost 60. Like, my brothers and sisters are a lot older than I am. And I'm going, you were supposed to be dead. Like, they found it way too late. And he goes, I know. He goes, and every doctor I've ever worked on me is dead. So he goes, don't touch me or you're cursed. And like, he laughs about it. But I mean, I think it's just knowing, like, when you have that thing, you talked about it was on your Super Saturday video. You talked about, I think, at leadership. And, and you said to your coach, who would want me to coach you? Everybody. That's the greatest answer ever. Seriously, that's just like, I get chills thinking about it, because a lot of times we go through self-doubt. I don't care what the situation is. The situation can be infinitesimal in comparison, but it's in human nature. And I think self-doubt's a really poisonous thing. And so when you feel those things creep up, you probably need to read a little bit more. Those are the days to double up. Or like a workout when somebody's trying to get really lean, do an AM and a PM workout. Great. Do a little personal development in the morning, right when you get up, before you check your phone. Do a little in the evening. Like, don't open the morning with looking at emails, because then you're on somebody else's schedule. Get up in the morning, read something great. Have something ready to go, either on your phone or a book, so you don't get distracted by the phone and the other crap that's on it. So.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for all of these amazing tips, Mike. We appreciate your time. I know you said you have another, you do your phone call tonight?
I had him do something else tonight. I got guacamole to make and Mexican food. Yeah. I'm making stuff tonight. So
you enjoy your guacamole. I am on the fix, so I am all about containers right now. But
I'll tell you what, this is the greatest guacamole on earth, and like, all my Mexican friends asked me for the recipe on this thing because it's pretty amazing. So I'll have to share this recipe someday. It's kind of funny, but
You feel free to share the recipe when I graduate from the 21-day fix.
No, you can have it on the fix. It's all veggies. And then, you know what Kelly did? Here's the greatest thing.
I couldn't stop at one blue thing of that, like guacamole.
Oh, no. But, well, yeah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's starved. But you know what you do instead of chips is she cuts up zucchini into little strips. And I'm looking at this. I'm going like, I really don't like zucchini that much. She goes, just try it. And she's like, close your eyes and try it. I'm like, feel like a little kid. I tried this bite of my guacamole with zucchini instead of a corn chip. It tasted almost the same. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. My kids will eat it. My boys are 9 and 10, and like they'll eat zucchini strips with guacamole all day long.
I would love the recipe.
Weird. Yeah.
Mike,
all right, you guys have a great night.
So much for your time. I appreciate it so much. And before the rest of you guys hang up, Erin Henigan is on the call. She's just gonna go over with Beachbody on Demand. Erin, if you want to unmute real quick and give us just a couple minutes of your time and your thoughts so far about Beachbody on Demand.
Awesome. Hi guys. Thanks Katie for having me on your call.
Sure.
And I'm excited for On Demand, and I'm really excited to share it with everybody, what it's all about, and just a little bit about the differences between the free membership and the club membership, since On Demand will be released for our customers late spring. That's what they have projected. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the differences, I just want to run down what the difference is between the free and the club membership. All of your customers, if they are signed up with you, they automatically have that free membership, and they have access to use tools on the website. And there are 4 key tools. The first tool is the Wowie Super Gym. And when they use that, that's also linked to the P90X app on a smartphone. When they use that, they're eligible to win up to $300 a day in cash prizes. So for those challengers that are looking for maybe not one of our Facebook groups, or they're more workout on their own type, we always have some of those, that could be something that you can talk to them about. Also, the free membership, of course, gets them us a coach. And you all know what we do as coaches, so I don't have to talk about that. And then also there is community boards. So the community boards are advice, workout tips, additional buddies outside of their team, maybe for extra support. And then they also get a weekly newsletter with expert fitness and nutrition advice. So that's what
email to them. I'm sorry, the weekly newsletter, or is that on the site?
That is on the site. The weekly newsletter, yeah. And then, so that's basically what a free membership gets you. I also, whenever I sign somebody up, if I, haven't sold a challenge pack and I just want to get a challenger or make a connection with another person, I always try to get them to have a free membership with me as their coach. And then I like to talk about the blogs and the recipes that they have access to. So Beachbody does blogging, and they also have a lot of recipes for the general public. But once you're signed up with that login, it's just kind of a really nice reference for anybody and everybody to go to. So that's the main thing that I talk about, because we do have a really strong system in place with our Facebook platform and with our team environment for challenge groups and those sort of things, using Facebook as the main platform to support fitness and working out. But that extra add-on, it just sounds really nice, and it is really nice for the potential customer or new member.
Yeah.
And then to talk about the club membership, I actually started out with the club membership before I was a coach. And the reason I did that was because I wanted somebody else to build me a meal plan. So I started out with the fix, and I was really overwhelmed. And my coach was really awesome. She was very supportive in helping me. And I still wanted to look at this tool that said I needed to be a club member to access. And it was a tool, I think it's called Nishi's Ladder. And I'm probably butchering how to say that. But it is a ladder that will generate, based on your calories and your goals, it'll set you up with a meal plan. And it also provides you with a shopping list and recipes to go along with your meal plan and the full specs. So no matter what fitness program you're on, it'll give you the specs of if it's a container, if it's with a fix, or if it's something else, if you're looking at the Shaun T or the Tony Horton or Shalene workouts. So it really does a nice job of kind of setting that up for you. And I was overwhelmed, so I just was kind of like, oh, it's $40, I'll just pay for it. It sounds great. So the cost is $38.87, and that breaks down, and that's quarterly, that breaks down to $3 a week. So I like the club membership for that meal ladder. That's my first and my biggest talking point. But also there's other benefits with that. You get 10% on all of your purchases of any Beachbody fitness programs, gear, or supplements. So if they buy, something additional besides their startup program, or even if they're not ready to buy a program, it's a really nice way to kind of segue them into getting a discount if they're not ready to sign as a coach. And then, let's see, the personalized meal plan, nutrition tips, and recipes, that's actually valued at $120 per month per Beachbody. They put a price on it. So if you really talk numbers with your customer that's a little concerned about, the cost of the club membership, that's a really good value and something that you can highlight with them. The next thing is, if you guys have anybody that's really into the celebrity trainers, or they're really excited about Shaun T or Tony Horton, they have VIP access with celebrity trainers, and that includes a live chat feature. So they actually post in their in the back, well, it's the club membership, so it's not quite the back office. They actually have a section where you can view when the next live chat is with a celebrity trainer. And I have not done that yet, but it does look like it would be something really awesome, especially for people that, I know I have some friends even that are really in love with Shaun T specifically. So to just give them that opportunity to do a live chat with Shaun T would be a really nice segue to get them to join as a club membership level. Okay, and for coaches specifically, the added benefit is if you are a club member, then you also are qualifying for Customer and Success Club lead programs. So I don't know the full breakdown of this. I'll be very honest. I tried to research it, and I called Coach Relations on a lot of this stuff. I think what this is, through my experience, because my club membership was actually turned off when I switched to my credit cards. So I think that when you are active as a club member, that you're going to get more of the leads. Because when I was inactive, I didn't really get many. I was getting less.
So you have to be a club member in order to get leads at all.
Okay.
So what you probably got was maybe from the first month, and then the credit card was shut off, and then they stopped doing leads or whatever. But yes, you have to be a club member to get the leads. So if you're hitting Success Club, you're an Emerald rank coach, then you can get the leads.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and let's see. I wanted to talk about on-demand, but before I go on to on-demand, does anybody have any questions about the differences, just the really basic differences in free membership to club membership? No? Okay. All right, it's pretty straightforward. At the end of my little spiel, I'm going to give you guys 4 FAQ numbers also that are my references for all this stuff, so just in case. All right, so Beachbody On Demand, it's going to launch in spring of 2015. So that's pretty soon. Anybody that hit Success Club in January has had the opportunity, as of just a few days ago, to get a preview of that on demand, which is pretty awesome. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what it actually is. So I was a little scared of it, to be honest. At Super Saturday, they're like, oh, there's this awesome thing, this platform, and your customers are going to be able to stream live. And then I thought about it, and I thought to myself, does that mean I can't sell a challenge pack anymore? Can I not sell any programs anymore? What's that going to do to the Coach Network? So what I've learned is it's actually a really good thing for us because it is older programs. That's the first thing. And the programs that are on there are things that are less likely to be sold anyways right now in the Beachbody world. So it's P90X, P90X2, X3, Insanity Turbo Fire, Brazilian Butt Lift, 10-Minute Trainer, Chalene Extreme, Asylum Volume 1, Tony One-on-One Volume 1, and Hip Hop Abs. So those are the fitness programs, and it is unlimited access to all of those programs. So with that, you can sell, from what I gather, the club membership as a challenge pack with Shakeology. So there will be a direct link. It's not released yet, but that's what I was told by Coach Relations, that we will have a specific challenge pack link that is unlimited access to all these fitness programs / club membership and includes Shakeology. So I think that's a really huge benefit for us, because if you have somebody that maybe they're looking to even upgrade onto another program, or you have that sales associate traveler and they're just looking for a little bit of extra support while they travel, this is a really, really nice option for them. And I'm not scared of it at all now. I'm really excited. So, and how it works is they will automatically have access to it. So once they log into teambeachbody.com, all they have to do is hit the streaming tab on their homepage, and that will take them to a library. And that library is all the workouts that I just listed, and they can stream any workout. And that has to be done from a computer. It will not link into iTunes or anything like that. So they actually have to use their Team Beachbody login, and they have to stream it live from the Team Beachbody website. So that means it has to be online. If they're going to the mountains and there's no internet, then it's not going to do them any good unless they use the internet on their phone. But yeah, so that was one question that I was actually asked, and I wanted to dig into it. There was a couple of other things. So club membership, actually, you do get a commission right now. It's $19.44, and that's a quarterly commission, and it is 15 PV. So if you are selling the club membership, the subscription, as of now, that is what it is. There is an asterisk note that says we will have the information on PV and the commission, and those details will be announced late Q1. Late Q1 means end of March. And when they do buy it, just one other quick thing, it's a full package. It's kind of, you can't sell just Insanity, the original Insanity club membership. It's the $40 gets you the whole deal.
Right. So you can't say like, let's call it for $20 and all. I just want these workouts, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Cool.
And then you said you had a couple of FAQs too, Erin?
Yeah. They are 1536, 1482, 69, and 1275. And if they do sign up in I think it's Q2, so whenever it launches, there's some bonuses that they will get. My favorite bonus, of course, is bonus workout Dirty 30 from the original 21-Day Fix.
Cool.
Super excited about that. But there are some bonus workouts that they will get. And the FAQ on that one is the 69 FAQ that talks about bonuses.
Okay. Erin, I think it would be cool too is I'm going to kind of, you said, I think Michaeline said you have a doc that you created, like a Microsoft Word doc for it. If we want to upload that just to the Knockout Brigade so that other people can check it and just have it as an access. But at one point too, like I just wanted to kind of, maybe we'll just do a little like post or something where you and I can kind of go back and forth about this, because this is an amazing opportunity for you, for your customers, and your coaches, So if you think about it, you're making 50% commission every quarter too, and that can really add up. So what my plan is to let people know that On Demand is coming, go through my customer base and talk about Beachbody On Demand. But then on top of it, remind them of what they actually do get as a club member and break it down to the fact that this is $3 a week. You know, if you want to do live chats with trainers, if you want to be part of the, Mika's, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't say it.
The ladder.
The ladder.
You know, you're right. You did raise a good and a valid point that some people really would rather do it alone than be part of that environment or that group. So it's another powerful selling tool too. So Bethany, you can unmute if you want to, if you had a question, if you see where to do it. I think I can see it. I can grab you. There you go.
I don't know what happened.
You're good.
Oh, no, I didn't have a question.
Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. I'm sorry.
No, I'm playing with my hair.
All right, guys. So it is well after 10. So I am going to complete the call, but it was great. Erin, thank you so much for that information tonight too.
Thanks, Katie.
I appreciate it so much. It was really sweet of you to do that. And Erin, let's talk about the other thing next week.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Thanks so much.
All right, bye.
Bye.